Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Happy Wednesday evening and welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. We have John, Jason, and a vacationing Mike here with you this evening to bring you your joy, your excitement, your love, all that fun stuff. Speaking of love, we're going to talk about this phenomenal Orioles trade deadline. Actually, the key word should be controversial trade deadline. Birdland is up in arms. The baseball pundits, they are not up in arms. Realists, non-realists. We got a lot to break down for you. We're going to talk about the Ravens and Zay Flowers' new contract. We're going to have a fun Dad Bod feud part 2 coming up tonight. Lots of fun things happening, fellas. What's going on, John? You and I have spent way too much time together thus far today.
Yeah, we have. I think more time than we've ever spent together, ever in our entire
Good.
35-year friendship. I think we've been. That's more time than we've ever spent. So, not much going on here. Same old, same old. Just school starts tomorrow for my kids. So, we're. Can you believe this? So, like, I get uniforms and stuff, but we have. You can't even at their school. You can't even buy like just plain khaki shorts. You have to buy khaki shorts with the embroidery of the company that supplies school uniforms. So we had a couple leftovers that still fit, and we spent like $450 or something on school uniforms because you have to buy the shorts, and the shorts are like $30 a piece, and the skirts are like $40 a piece. Just silly stuff. Like I'm like, why can't they just wear red shirts and khaki pants or whatever? But they got to buy these stupid school style things, and
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I don't get the whole embroidery thing. It's like you're sponsored by your children are now sponsored by the store in which you
right.
bought it from. Like that's horse manure as far as I'm concerned. But I get it. Like most of these places for private schools, you have to buy it from the same place. But they all have like the same sizes and styles and all that, but not the embroidery. That's weird, John. Knowing you, I'm sure why didn't you just go buy their stuff from Target and then just embroider it on yourself? Like I figured you would have done that.
We tried that last year.
Of course.
We bought the same shorts off Amazon because they were like 12 or $15, where at the school thing they were like 30 or 40. But they caught the kids without the little thingy on there, and we had to, you know, figure it out. And I'm not good with a sewing machine or embroidery or any of that stuff. So
Outstanding.
I'm not an 80-year-old woman. I'm sorry.
Well, Mike, tell
You're
me
probably
what
so. Yeah,
he's so 80-year-old woman.
he's so sewing machine. So.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. Mike, you are on vacation in Virginia. Tell me what's that like?
It's mountainy. Is that a word? It's mountainy here.
Mountainous.
It's
Mountainous, I
great.
think.
It's mountainous. Good, thanks. That's the word. Forgot my vocabulary since we've been out and about. It's been really relaxing for the most part. Played a lot of golf. We just got back from our nightly hike. We hiked the golf course looking for golf balls. We found 148 tonight, I believe, in our hunt, which was pretty awesome. Um, Found this place. You guys might know this logo, Bucky's.
Bucky's.
You ever been to one of those
Love
Bucky's
Buc-ee's.
guys?
I
I
love
thought you were.
Bucky's.
I thought you made a wrong turn and you were in Florida. I didn't know they had them in Virginia.
Well, this one was about 15 minutes past the resort, but on the way down, we decided, you know what? Let's see what the rave is all about. And I got a couple koozies, and I got some shopping bags for the girls so they could remember their trip to Bucky's. And we didn't get much other than that. But I wanted to stop and get food because I had this brisket burrito that looked delicious, but I really never got into it enough to get food. We had eaten lunch before we came at Cracker Barrel, which also amazing. But we're in Virginia, Massanutten it's called, and like I said, it's a resort, family resort. There's mini golf, there's an adventure park, there's a zip line. They did this like dry land roller coaster. It's on like on a rail thing today. It was really cool. Swimming pool, ice cream, water park. We did a float down the river on tubes in the Shenandoah River the other day. So it's good.
Fantastic. Yes, I've been to Massanutten a few times. My roommate in college was a ski instructor there. So we used to go skiing for free. And when I say skiing, it wasn't just skiing. Like we would go in like March and April, and I would go in my board shorts and go down the mountain skiing at like 60-degree weather. It's a good time. Fantastic.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, I have the dab bod question of the day, I think. I've been trying to come up with a good one, and I had some that I was like, eh. So I'm wondering, what is, so I'm going to make it somewhat sports related, though. So dab bod sports related. What is the best trade deadline in all of sports and why? John, would you like to go first?
Well, yeah, I'll go first. It has to be the Major League Baseball trade deadline because in other sports, you don't see trades like this. You don't see like top quarterbacks switching teams at the NFL trade deadline. You don't see like these huge players going from team A to team B because you have a salary cap that you're dealing with. And because you don't have a salary cap in baseball, it doesn't matter how much money they're making. You can just, it's like on the Madden, like when you turn off the salary cap on franchise mode and you can just load your team up with, as many players as possible. Where other sports, if you're going to make a trade, it's almost like you got to trade one quarterback for the other in order to balance the cap room out and all those things. So I think it's the baseball trade deadline is the best and my favorite.
Mike, would you agree? Are you going a different area?
No, actually, I hate to say it, but I do agree with John. I think Major League Baseball trade deadline is one of the more active trade deadlines. Um, First of all, I'm not an NBA fan particularly, so that probably takes me out of the running for that one. I would say NHL might be a close second. If you are an NHL fan, the NHL trade deadline is super active most of the time, and you see a lot of contenders. They are able to do some of those things like you're talking about, John, kind of structured, where they can trade different players. You see goaltenders move sometimes, and those are kind of huge moves down the stretch for the month and a half long NHL playoffs. But for me, in the middle of the summer, there's not much going on. You've got anticipation of football season, and if your team's making a push, the MLB trade deadline, are you going to get that extra player to send you over the top for the last month and a half, 2 months of the season? I don't like that it's in August. I liked it better when it was a little bit in mid-July because you got a little longer with those players. But I do enjoy the MLB trade deadline.
Perfect. I will agree. I think that the MLB trade deadline is an actual real trade deadline. The NBA kind of like starts months before. Then you have the whole expiring contract, which is horse manure as well. It's the second time I've used that phrase tonight. Okay, I'm going to do another part to this, and we can keep this one short. This was brought to us by John. So I want to know who had the better career as a catcher with the Baltimore Orioles. Not just stats wise, but take into account stats, all-star game appearances, everything. Matt Wieters or Adley Rutschman, who had a bigger impact on the team, whose presence here made more of a difference. Mike, I'll start with you.
Oh, Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters for sure. I think he may not have had the power numbers that Adley had. He might not have been as highly. I don't know. They kind of were both highly touted, but he caught his defense. I think is on another level than Adley Rutschman's defense. First of all, secondly, he was part of two teams that went pretty deep into the playoffs, relatively speaking, because Adley never won a playoff game, and Wieters' teams, in the 2014 season, he had the ALCS run. And in 2012, they won 2 games, I think, in that ALDS. So they at least had some winning playoff games. So for me, it's Matt Wieters, and also the tenure. It's a longer tenure.
John, what about you?
I would have to say Wieters. I mean, and again, Wieters didn't come in with the hype that Adley came in with. Adley came in with much higher hype as the number 1 overall pick, as the savior of the franchise, as all of these things. And Wieters was highly touted coming out of Georgia Tech. I mean, he was I believe he was an All-American closer too. I believe it was an All-American
Mauer with
catcher.
power.
Yeah, I think he was an All-American catcher and an All-American closer, both, I believe. If my memory serves me correctly. But I think Wieters, I mean, those teams won playoff games. He had a better arm than he's a better arm than Adley, better defender back there, and I think he handled the pitching staff, better. And there's playoff wins. Adley has none.
I would argue that he was just like to the Oriole fans, he was more touted than Adley. Adley was the number one pick. Wieters was a fifth round pick or a fifth overall pick. But Jesus with cleats, you don't remember that comparison? I was there the night he made his debut. It was completely sold out. Like it was a big effing deal. So, and that's what I don't know if he changed the franchise around, where there is an argument to be made that Adley coming in helped change the franchise at that time and to start the end of that rebuild into a couple playoff appearances. But the impact that Wieters had, I mean, he's a two-time Gold Glover. Mike, you're right. His defense is a lot better than Adley's. He's a four-time All-Star instead of a three-time. Now, Adley could go ahead and make another All-Star game appearance or so, but it won't be with the Orioles. I would agree that that Matt Wieters had a bigger impact at that time. And again, I mean, so if you look at their stats, Wieters had 73 home runs, Adley had 69. Adley had a 277 average. Wieters has 284. Oh no, wait, those are something different. 254 average with Adley, pardon me, and 258 with Wieters. 284 RBI for Wieters, 277 with Adley. So again, you're right, John. He was also a closer in college. I vote Matt Wieters. I don't know what you folks out there think. Let us know. Adley Rutschman, Matt Wieters, and just to be clear, and we can get this here. I don't care that Adley Rutschman is no longer an Oriole, guys. I'm okay with it. We can get into that in a second. But John was saying how they haven't discounted the Orioles jerseys. He's no longer on this team. It's time to move forward. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I can't, like, I know people get upset. Mike, you've mentioned before about how, like, your kids can't buy a jersey because the players don't stick around long enough. I'm okay with it. I want rings and championships so I can be like these annoying Yankee and Red Sox fans. So, but okay, let's jump in to this controversial trade deadline. And we're not going to start with the big one. We're going to start in the order in which it happened. We've already talked about Dean Kramer. We're going to start with Taylor Ward. At first, when I hear these things, and you guys know how I felt, I don't like getting rid of a player knowing that I feel like there isn't anyone that can take his place. Apparently, I said that, and Tyler O'Neill's hit multiple home runs since he's left. Did he hit a home run tonight? He's hit 2 home runs. Maybe it's playing time, everyone. Maybe he needs playing time. The man did have multiple years in which he's hit over 30 home runs. I'm not the one, like Mike, you said it, so I'll give you the credit. You said Tyler O'Neill will get the playing time if you traded Taylor Ward. So I give you the credit there. But it's okay. And they got 3 guys back in that deal. So it's, to me, I'm, again, Alex Hoppe. He's had some major league experience with the Mariners. Harrison Kraling and Brock Moore. Nothing like crazy stands out here, except I believe Brock Moore throws very, very, very hard. And Alex Hoppe is very intriguing to me. So they needed bullpen depth. They needed guys in the organization. That's fine. It didn't sound like they were going to bring back Taylor Ward guys. So for me, it's okay. I don't want to grade it. I think you could say it's a win, I guess, because, are you going to get stuck with him at the end of the year? He's 32 years old. So, Mike, your thoughts?
I mean, you didn't sign Taylor Ward for 7 home runs and 30 RBI. Like, I mean, he's doing some different things this season. He's getting on base. I think he's been kind of a different type of player than we anticipated him being for the Orioles. But that's not what you signed up for, number one. Second, I think he's 32 years old.
32.
So he's got, a couple years probably left in the tank. If you like him that much, just sign him again next year. At this point, though, with an expiring contract, you flip him and you get something back for him. And I think you just take the highest bidder at that point. Obviously, outside the division would be my thought process, though we clearly see that Mike Elias doesn't necessarily have that same thought process.
Yeah, I mean, outside the division, like that for me, I've just never really been real big on it. Like, if you're going to get something to improve your team, whether it's in the division or not, that's fine. Especially with, I mean, what they got him out to Seattle, that's fine, right? I mean, they don't play them much more. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to impact the Mariners. Good for them. John, your thoughts?
I mean, here's the thing. Like you said, Mike, Ward was out there to hit home runs, to drive runs, and to drive the baseball around the ballpark. He wasn't out there to play defense. And it was clear. Like, even at the spring training game we went to, he turned around the wrong way and the ball went over his head. Like, if he's not doing the things that he needs to be doing to stay on the ball team, then he's expendable. So they brought Franklin up. Franklin's playing center field tonight. He played left field last night. O'Neill's a Gold Glove winner in right field. He's got a cannon. So let's give O'Neill the playing time out there. Rotate Cowser, Franklin, and Beavers in the other two slots, and let the guys play. Like you said, O'Neill's getting the at bats now, and I mean, he hit the ball 425 feet or something like that. He got a fastball middle in and just turned on it. And like Hoppy tonight, I just saw 100-mile-an-hour sinker. So he's got some good stuff in this bullpen too, because I mean, that not the lefty we needed, but we said the bullpen was somewhere they needed help, and they shuffled players around to get the bullpen help that they needed. And I think we can fill that hole, much better than what Ward had been doing.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard some comments about how people were upset that Elias came on during the game last night and said he didn't dismantle the team. He didn't dismantle the team, guys. He really didn't. He got rid of a guy in Ward that, I mean, you got everything you were going to get out of Ward. I think you got right. You're going to get more of. I mean, yeah, he didn't hit home runs, guys. He got on base. He walked a lot. Like he did. He helped this team. Now defensively, not so much, like John said. But to me, this whole thing wasn't a dismantling. They did trade Adley, which upsets a lot of people, and we'll get to that here. Start right now, but Adley's been in and out of this lineup with injuries this year, and I mean, he was barely a part of that 7-game win streak, right? Like that's when he started. So to me, it's like you can win games, but you can't win games. I said it last time when you don't have Basayo and or Rutschman. If you don't have either one of them, that might be tough. So that's yet to be seen. So Adley Rutschman goes to the Boston Red Sox for all kinds of nonsense. Gosh, let me pull up these guys. Now, if you guys look, the guys that they did get all of a sudden, the Orioles top prospects list looks a lot different than it did on the beginning of last week.
What did we say, Jason? They had the 55th best prospect in baseball, and now they got 3 guys above that?
Right. Right. So, I mean, to me, you hate to see Adley go because he was a part, like we said, of this rebuild and whatnot. But to me, the biggest thing is what I said last time, and I still say this again, is Mike Elias had to be careful. And he pretty much gave me the middle finger and said, I don't care what you say. I don't care. We are 2.5 games out. I'm still trading Adley Rutschman. I'm still doing this. Well, all right, by all means, Mike. We'll see how it turns out. John, do you have the list of players that they got back in this deal? They did get one guy, the number 2 overall prospect by the Red Sox, and Aronson, I think is how you pronounce it.
Ianson.
There you go, Mike. And nasty stuff. I think he was 4-0 down in the in AA this year. Throws very hard.
Okay, got the list here for you, Jason.
Go ahead, run it through real quick.
Anthony Ianson, ranked number 49 on MLB's Pipeline Top 100. Boston's number 2 prospect. Catcher Carlos Narvaez, who's starting tonight. Right-hander Kyson Witherspoon, number 4 prospect, and Endy Azakar is their number 5 prospect.
Perfect.
The Boston received Jake Rogers, who we just got from the Tigers, Rutschman, and a player to be named later.
No, we get the player to be named later. They get cash considerations.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry, backwards.
Yes, that good old cash considerations, Mike. He's a good one. But yeah, I mean, to me,
He's
look,
been traded a
Navarez.
lot, Jason.
I
Cash
know.
considerations.
Navarez is good, man. That's fine. I mean, when I say good, I mean I'm good with it. That's fine. You needed another catcher, especially if you're giving up two of them. Nothing that moves the needle for me defensively. Probably an upgrade over what they had with Chadwick and whoever the Sam Huff and all these other guys. But I believe they got their Mike. They got their top two pitching prospects, and they're both right-handed. Um, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, they seem to do minor league baseball pretty well. So to me, I think I'm okay with it for those to get those two right off the bat.
Yeah, I think if you ask around Major League Baseball, all the people are saying that we got the better end of the deal. I, I I struggle a little bit because of just the love of Adley. Because we're Oriole fans, you grew up, you watch the guy for a handful of years, and you fall in love with him. I love that he was hugging pitchers after the game, and he brings that like intangible quality where he you can tell he's a natural leader by just example, and his energy is contagious within the clubhouse. I think they're going to miss that more than the stats, honestly. So, like, to me, the only concern for me is, do they replace the energy that he brought? Because the production, I think, is Samuel Basayo will take care of that pretty quickly. I'm not super worried about it. And I think, like you said, Jason, to get Narvaez back, I think he's an upgrade from Jake Rogers, defensively, particularly. And he can serve as your typical backup. What we had before was more of a 1A and 1B catching situation with Adley and Basayo. Now you have more of your prototypical, probably 5 days for Basayo and 2 days for Narvaez once he's back and healthy. But if he does the defensive dirty work, that to me is excellent. And then obviously you're talking about the pitching prospects, Jason. Wow, that's exciting. You got all these guys getting ready to come up in 27, 28, 29. Guys like Giroux and Aloy. He's not a pitcher, obviously, but you got look at their guys. Fournette now that we got. We'll talk about in a minute. You've got Ianson. You got these guys that are all getting ready to come up in 2027, 2028. It's exciting for the future of this team, especially with the three pitchers that they have signed basically for a while.
Right. And what I want to see is obviously one of the guys that got in that deal, Azakar, is one of their top. He was what their top 7 or 8 player in their organization, John. But it also has. I mean, he's low. He's young. He was their number 5 prospect. So to me, like I want to see someone position wise, Mike, push against the wall and move it about trying to get up here because we don't have any position guys that are ready to like impact this roster. So I'm hoping now, like some of these younger guys that are in, all the guys that I think are pretty good eventually are all lower A guys. They were either drafted last year or the year before. So hopefully end of next year, maybe making a push during spring training, we could get some of these guys to start moving that way. But what an influx of talent, John, for them to get a little bit of infused there. Again, I know everyone's upset about Adley, but the haul that they get back for a guy that had a year and a half left on him, I mean, to me, it was pretty good. I'm okay with that part.
Yeah, I think so. I'm very like I see all these blog wars. Why would you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Well, then the reports that I've read said they've tried to sign Adley for the last 2+ years, and he's just not interested in signing. So, what is it? You're not going to have a season next year. You give him up for two months this year, plus he wasn't going to sign anyway. So you grab Boston's three of their top four three of their top 4 prospects, and you can't beat that. And what wins baseball games? Pitching and defense. If you can re-sign Rogers, I mean, look at this 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line. You got Bradish signed. I'm assuming if you try to sign Rogers for at least 3, maybe 4 years, you got Bradish, Rogers, Boz, and then you got you got
Heinsohn
Ianson and Witherspoon.
or Ferret.
Or you have pieces that can be traded for other spots that you need. Or, we see this all the time. You move one of them to the back end of the bullpen. You see a lot of these high-end starters who throw super hard, and you're like, you know what, they're better valued at, you know, closer. Because I mean, Bautista's been injury prone. You know, he had Tommy John, and then he had the shoulder, and then, you know, we don't know what he's going to be like. So even if you can move one of these guys to the back of the bullpen, I mean, I don't know what's going through the Orioles, you know, office's heads, but I'm thinking, you know what, with pitchers, you have many options. You know, where
Right.
if you're an outfielder and you can't hit, well, you're stuck relegated to the outfield. But if you're a pitcher, you know, we can move you around a little bit. And so I'm not disappointed at all, because if we had like, if they don't play next season, which there's a possibility nobody will play next season, we kept Adley for 2 months, and what do we get out of it?
Right.
And again, what have I been saying about Adley, Jason? He is a glorified Jason Varitek. He's a glorified Jason Varitek. He's going to Boston. He's just going to be Jason Varitek 2.0, because he's not Wieters. He's not the hype that was given to him.
Well, Rob from the Rob Show in Boston says to me, or he said to me in a text message, that this could be our new Varitek. And if you talk to any of those Boston Red Sox fans, they were very glad to have Jason Varitek and his leadership in bringing all of those rings. I do need to say here that, Jackie, I see that you wrote in there about how you miss Adley already. That's terrific. I miss championships. I miss playoffs. Playoff victories.
Who's talking about playoffs?
I'm okay, guys. We can move forward. I think we'll be just fine without that. Okay, Mike here says, hopefully add another number one pitcher along the way and top-level closer too. I think that Cano will actually be closing the rest of the season, I have a feeling. He might have something to say about that. Bautista, and then I believe they have an option for Helsley. I don't know if it's mutual or whatnot, but there's a lot that could happen as well. Jim says, love the Adley trade. Needed to happen. Just don't like it to Boston, but you can't pass up on that return. They overpaid for an overrated catcher. Don't think he's overrated. Let's not poo-poo because he's not here anymore. We as fans have a tendency to do that. If we miss out on a player, then we're like, he wasn't that good anyway. Or, he didn't, blah, blah, blah. Adley played a huge role in turning this organization around. I give him all his props in the world. However, if you're not going to sign here, you got to go. Okay, you have to make a business decision. John, put your hand down. And I'm going on my rant now. Stop it. And lastly, one of the biggest moves I think that didn't happen was Trevor Rogers staying a Baltimore Oriole, because that could mean could be some negotiations there, or maybe he will take the qualifying offer for 1 year, or they get the draft pick. If it's the draft pick, then we are stupid. So I'm hoping that it is because they can work something out. John, you're jumping up and down doing jumping jacks. What do you want?
I don't think Cano is closing, because Cano's coming in the 8th inning here.
Didn't he just close last night? I'm pretty sure he got the save last night, but that's fine, John.
So
you'll be here all week.
He's coming in the 8th inning. He's coming in the 8th inning right now.
I think it's a committee. It's a committee deal, but he will have a lot of those high leverage. The problem is he does not miss bats as much as some of those other guys, but he throws the ball on the ground. Not good when you're coming in extra innings. I hated when we used to do that with Brennan Hyde. Hated it because he throws a lot of ground balls. But we'll see. There's plenty of time to worry about the closer situation. Last trade they made, I know they did a couple little things, but the last impactful one was Tyler Wells, which caught me off guard, guys, to the Tampa Rays for Michael Ferret. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he was in the organization. He already went to Tampa, and I think the Eflin deal, Mike, Boz. Or was it one before? Was it the
Boz?
No, was it the Boz? That recent?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the Boz deal, and he was their number 8 overall prospect. Now he's the number 6 prospect for the Orioles. Big fan of Michael Ferret. The Orioles did a lot with him. They clearly liked him enough to bring him back for a 31-year-old guy, Mike, that I think the Orioles have gotten everything out of Tyler Wells. And I think next year, he's got one more year of arbitration, and then he's a free agent. So, yeah, it caught me off guard, but when I had a chance to take a step back, I thought it was a good move.
Yeah, let me real quick address Trevor Rogers, because you kind of breezed over that, but I think that's a big deal. I don't think he wants to negotiate from what I'm hearing during the season. Like, I think he wanted to wait. He said that messed him up the last time, and I think he just kind of wants to let the season play out, but it sounds like he enjoys being an Oriole. So I'm kind of hoping that they are able to get something done with him, whether it be probably after the season or, like you said, with a qualifying offer or beyond. So that would be great to add him to the rotation. When you're talking about a number one starter, Mike DeMarco, like Trevor Rogers is not far from it. Like he's not a number one
Either's
starter,
Kyle
but like
Bradish.
he's a top of the rotation guy. He's an arm that you can plug in and maybe get a win out of, or at least a quality start out of most of the time. All right, so that's that. Tyler Wells, he's a great piece to have because he's versatile. He can start, he can close, he can do the middle innings. He's a great piece for a contending team. This team doesn't need that necessarily because I don't think we're a contending team. And it's okay to get rid of that kind of guy and give him to a contending team. And you can find other ways to mop that kind of stuff up in this type of season that we're having right now. And then you can find real replacements for that type of guy in the offseason. So for me, like you said, Jason, his age, his experience level, and I think you get Ferret back. It's a kind of exciting. Obviously, the one thing I'd say about Mike Elias is he falls in love with these guys he drafts, and so I think he's a little heavy on loving the draft and loving the prospect end of being a general manager. And I don't think he spends enough time necessarily on the Major League Baseball side of it, on the MLB club and the pieces and the puzzle that makes a major league team kind of grow, like the energy piece to it. And I think he needs to get better at that piece. But you can see when he goes after these guys that he drafted previously that he kind of falls in love with that.
Well, it's not just him. It's Sig too, right? These guys are going over all this analytical research, all this stuff. And when they were in Houston, I mean, they drafted Correa, they drafted Springer. Like that's okay to fall in love with those type of guys. There's no one here at that level. Arguably Adley. Wow, Gunnar, potentially. Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Holiday, potentially Holiday. But you're right, Mike. To me, he does it, but he admitted that. He admitted in his conference the other day that, hey, look, I essentially fell in love with these guys. This is kind of where we're at. And him holding on to some of these guys might have hurt them. I was going to do one last thing on Elias after John gave his Tyler Wells opinion.
I mean, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. I mean, you're bringing guy back who, could be better, could be worse. But again, with these arbitration and only having a year left, and then possibly not having a season next year, better to get a lottery ticket that's in your minor league system than to lose out on a guy for nothing. And I think that's I've heard a lot about that a lot of these trades that are going on, were because they're expecting to either have a very shortened season next year or have no season at all. So they're going to lose, a year, or they're going to be giving up these guys with nothing. So I think it's an okay trade. I mean, it's more or less what they did with Brian Baker last year. And now Baker's the closer for the Rays, and he's lights out,
Okay, got it. The one thing I will say about Elias, it's tough for me because it looks like he's got the vote of confidence from ownership. I don't know if I was ownership if I'd be so quick to do that, because I still haven't seen the full abilities of being able to put together a major league roster. This year, he made some good additions, but they lack defensively, like something hurts. So that's part of your job, is making sure, like, you can hire a manager, but if they're bad defensively, it's not necessarily the manager's fault if they give you a bunch of turds, right? So it's like you got to do better. And you're going into next season right now with, I mean, I don't know who's playing where next year, right? I mean, I don't think there's anyone ready to come up from the minors positionally. So they're going to have to go outside the organization and make some moves. So whether that happens this year, whether it happens the year after, whatever the case may be. But I would say, Mike, the only thing I just wanted to mention is, I mean, I think he's out there now. He's under a microscope, at least in my eyes. I would hope in ownership as well. Mike?
He has a tendency. He has a tendency to. Sorry, he had a tendency. I didn't know you were asking me a question. He had a tendency to sell. He has a tendency to sell. I think he sold at 6 out of the 8 trade deadlines. Right. So like, again, I think that's just because he loves prospects, and that's where he leans into where he's comfortable. And I just think at some point you're going to have to actually buy, and it might not even be the best, like most um, rational decision that you make. But you guys both understand that there's emotion and feelings that goes along with the game of baseball. And sometimes to get a player like a Scooble and that guy pushes you over the edge to feel like you get that ball rolling with momentum. Now I could be completely wrong. They could go like they won last night. They're in a good position to win again tonight. Maybe they go on a little run and I'm completely wrong. But you know what? I think there is their emotional piece to the game that he needs to get a better at reading. That's all. That's all I got to say about Elias.
I would agree. But I do think that like you can take this one of two ways if you're the players. You can either get butthurt because he gave up. He doesn't think you're good enough. So we're selling these players. Or you can give him the gosh darn middle finger and go out and win 2 games against a team, by the way, that you should be sweeping. Because the Angels got significantly worse from this whole deadline. So I think it could be very interesting. I don't think it's time to throw in the towel. 2.5 games out of first place is not or first place. Wild card is not the time to throw in the towel. But realistically, yeah, they're worse today on paper than they were 2 days ago, and that's okay. All right, we need to come up. I want you guys to do this somewhat quickly. Um, Tell me, and we'll start with John. Who got better? Like, give me one if you want to give me two, but who put themselves in a different category after the trade deadline? Who improved the best, John?
Well, for this season, I think the Red Sox did a good job. Um, getting Rushman because catcher was clearly where they had a weakness. If he can stay healthy, like that's the question. And then the Dodgers. When you bring in one of, if not the best starter in the league to go with the rest of your lineup, you're getting 7-8 innings again another day that with Otani getting the injury bug and things like that, bringing in that top starter is really going to help them. So I would say in the National League, the Dodgers, all they didn't make a ton of moves. They made the big ones. And in the American League, I think the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox had that catching need, and they're going to win now. Trading 4 of your top 5 or 3 of your top 5 prospects is going to win now.
I mean, the low hanging fruit, John, of course, you take the low hanging fruit, is the Dodgers. I mean, not only did they go out and get Scooble, they also got Chris Bubich from the Royals, who the Dodgers are only going to make better. And what do the Dodgers do, though? They don't pitch guys very long. And Chris Bubich has had some shoulder issues this year, some arm issues. So we'll see how he recovers from there. But I'm a real high on him was going into this year as an Oriole trade target as well. Mike, who got better? Who really made a move? And you can't say the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Dodgers are obvious. If you're going to talk about a team that's a little less obvious, I think Tampa Bay, the Tampa Rays, they did a really good job. Freddie Peralta, a really good starting pitcher. Liam Hicks, we already talked about the trade for Tyler Wells to fortify their bullpen a little bit. So I think you got to think Tampa was already in a pretty good situation, and especially the Peralta move, I think was really good for them. National League wise, I don't know. It's going to be hard to compete with the Dodgers. I like the Arias deal for the Phillies. I think to have him now as a different type of player in Philadelphia than those big boppers that they have all up and down their lineup, the power, but not necessarily the average guys. I think he helps their lineup immensely. I don't know if that's enough to put them over the top or not, but I think that was a nice pickup.
I like the Guardians. I think the Guardians did good. They went out and got Foster Griffin from the Nationals. And then they also went and got Joe Adell from the Angels. Are you going to get 2025 Joe Adell, 2026 Joe Adell? To me, that's a good one. The Pirates also I have down here by going out and getting bullpen help. Luke Weaver, Kirby Yates, Lake Bacher. I mean, these are good Major League ball players. So that just makes that bullpen even better. One of the other ones I wanted to mention here, the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees, as much as we don't want to say it, I mean, they went out and they got Luis Garcia Good second baseman / can play some other positions as well. And they also went on got Elio Ramos. So again, just making themselves better. That's what good teams do, guys. They add to make their team better. So we will see. All right, what do I have in the chat here before we move on? What did Jim say the Rockies for? Oh, they had a good season. And Anthony says the Cubs. You are correct, Anthony. That was the one team on my list as well. They went out. Oh God, who did they get? They had Clay Holmes, who was a target for me from the Orioles, and there was one other guy they got. Oh gosh, John, you want to
Gosman.
look that up?
Gosman.
Oh yeah, they went on
Kevin Gosman. Yeah.
Hey, very sneaky, very sneaky. But what I think the Guardians did, I mean, the White Sox made a lot of moves too. None of them really moved the needle for me. But the Guardians, I think, are going to make a run for that division there as well, if not the wild card for sure. All right. Do you guys have anything else in the baseball and or Oriole section? John, you were doing something?
Gunner almost got plunked again.
Oh, good. All right.
Oh,
all right.
Plunked. He did get
Let's
plunked.
see. Do you? Let me ask you one more baseball related question. What was your favorite move of the day, Mike? Your favorite move, if you had to choose one.
Oh man.
It doesn't have to be the day. It could be of the deadline.
Of the whole trade deadline.
Yeah, it could be Scooble if you wanted to.
I mean, that to me, it's just like you said, low hanging fruit. Scooble, whoever picked up Scooble, that's a really nice move. I love Arias. I thought that Arias to the Phillies was a good move. I'm trying to think of anything that Gosman to the Cubs is a quiet, sneaky move. Like,
right,
he's a solid starter. Like you guys talked about that briefly, real quick, with Anthony saying Cubs, like him and Clay Holmes. I mean, man, they really area of weakness there in the back of their rotation just became a major strength, and they could give the Brewers a run for their money. The Brewers have a bit of a lead, if I'm not mistaken, in that division, but I think the Cubs could do well there.
John, you got one?
Yeah, I would have to agree with the Cubs. I think filling up the back end of their bullpen there, their starting rotation is something that's going to be huge down the stretch. But then here's the thing that we can't, don't have a magic ball, but you look at the Orioles grabbing all those starters. 3 years down the line, does your starting, does it look like the 1970 Orioles? You have 5 starters in there with sub 4 ERAs, and then your problem is your offense can't produce. So, there's a problem. But do the Orioles in 3 or 4 years, when we have Bradish and Rogers and Boz, and then these 2 fellas from the Red Sox giving you 6, 7, 8 innings a night, how does that look?
Absolutely. I'm going to go with a homer move, but it's not the Adley move. I'm going to say Michael Ferret, because I think we could sit back here in a couple years and say, Michael Ferret, he, okay, number 2, number 3 starter, and look what he's done for Tyler Wells, who is now out of baseball. John's eyes just went flying out of his head.
Tavares just hit a home run.
Well, that's nice. What's the score? Give everyone an update.
5-2.
There you go. Look at this, guys.
Right.
Playoff bound Baltimore Orioles. Here we go. Take this, Elias. Oh, sorry. All right.
Jason, though, the other one is Dean Kramer, the kid we got from the Twins. The more I've seen the scouting reports on that kid, if he becomes exactly what they say he could be, this could be a Cedric Mullins, only better.
Okay, so the only thing I'm going to say about all this, that's great. He's 18 years old, right? But they also left organizations and came into this organization. I mean, we're putting all of our faith into our developmental system to be able to produce those guys help those guys produce into something. So that's all I'm going to say about it without poo-pooing on the entire organization and pretty much cementing our legacy as never getting any Orioles people on the show. So moving on. Okay, Michael, you said something very important last week. Before we get to it, I want your dad joke of the day.
Oh, do you guys know why the bicycle fell over?
Oh, Christ. No, Mike. Why did the bicycle?
Sorry, I was
can't
laughing.
wait. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It was too tired.
Oh God in heaven, please help me. Oh my goodness, I love it. All you people out there in chat land, I know you love this. This is the only reason we do it. This is terrific. I love it. All right. Mike said something very important last week. He said about the Baltimore Ravens, you're going to have to pay Zay. So, in case you don't know what that means, my Cleveland friend Jim and the rest of anyone out there, that means the Ravens would have to pay Zay Flowers because of all the offseason signings that have happened with wide receivers, the most recent with Chris Olave. So Zay signed a pretty significant deal. I believe it was 4 years, $140 million. Is that what I saw?
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know how much is guaranteed, John, if you want to look that up. But
I believe 110.
110. Wow, that's more guaranteed money than Chris Olave got, Mike.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right, John. Like 108, so right in that area. I think, but you know what? I think it was comparable to the deal I saw that Justin Jefferson signed, but that was previously. You can't really
108.
compare apples and oranges.
You're right, Mike.
I mean,
108.
that's a lot of guaranteed money. And so I guess you have the two camps, right? The one that argue that Zay Flowers is not a number one wide receiver because he's not your prototypical number one wide receiver. And then those who appreciate Zay for who he is and the fact that he is the best Baltimore Ravens receiver ever drafted. So I guess you kind of, John, where do you fall in that?
I think that it's a good move. I think Zay is not a typical number one, but Lamar is not a typical quarterback. So I think Zay's not the big body receiver, but he is, he's a guy who gets you yards, gets you touchdowns, gets you, he's the guy you want to have the ball in his hands. I think, and Hopkins said this on a podcast, about a month or so ago, maybe a little bit more, that the people that keep saying things about Zay need to just stop, because he's, like you just said, look at all the receivers we've drafted, from Travis Taylor to Torrey Smith to, name them all. Brandon Stowe, none of these guys did a lot, not compared to what Zay has done. And Zay doesn't have the physical stature of a guy like a Torrey Smith or a Travis Taylor, but he's got the intangibles. He's got the speed, the quickness, the other things that enable him to be, one of the top receivers in the league, and our number one receiver, Jim, number one. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
number four, but
So one of the things, one of the scouting mentions for him when he was drafted was that he plays a lot bigger than his size, and there's some truth to that, right? You're not going to throw down and throw a jump ball to him, but he goes up and demands the ball. He holds on to the ball at first, not usually when he starts running afterwards a lot, but when he catches it, he's got strong hands as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, he's a difference maker. If you want to keep your number one wide receiver, that's fine. You have to pay that. So I have no problem with the money or whatever. It's just that, I mean, unless you draft someone else, like Bateman was a number one wide receiver when you drafted him. I mean, he's more of a 2 or 3 at this point. 2 on this team, probably 3 or 4 on others. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. No big deal. Like it needed to happen if you want to keep him here. Oh my. John said Jim said that's like a quarter of what we paid Deshaun Watson. Oh, very tough. Oh man.
Hey, did you guys see Jacoby Lane playing with the first team today?
Yeah, and last time Surratt was playing wasn't he playing with a thing? So they're just mixing things around and messing with my brain.
Well, Zay was off today, so they needed a wide receiver. But did you see that catch where he made a one-handed spin catch on the outside? Mike has been saying it for a while now. I think we got a couple diamonds in the rough in terms of wide receivers. Mike has his hand up.
No, Mike's frozen. John, if you can move him
can
out.
You hear? Nope.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm here. Frozen. I don't know what's going. My video screen is being weird. No, the one thing I was going to say, I think this has to do with Lamar Jackson as much as it does with Zay Flowers. Can we think about that for just a second? Because Lamar, he's coming up here in the future too, and this is a show of good faith for Lamar that you're going to sign his best receiver and he's going to be here for a while. Number one. Number two, financially, you've got to pay Zay Flowers, so you know how you have to organize and structure the deal for Lamar and have that money available. So I think we have to add that piece onto this as well.
Agreed. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, obviously, money and stuff have to move. Is the game over? Is the game over
Nope,
yet?
no 2
Oh,
outs,
okay.
top of the ninth.
All right.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is over.
All right.
I
Well,
don't
good
know.
night, Anthony. I love you. O's win. Let's effing go. And with that, time to head to bed. Night, fellas. Great. Thanks for joining in, Anthony. That's awesome. Mike, you should probably sign right back in because you're still frozen. And all right. While we're waiting on Mike.
Kittredge got a save. Wow.
Okay. All right, John. Did your parents ever tell you how rude it is to interrupt? Oh, no. All right. Mike will be back. John, in the meantime, can you prep my music, please? Dad Bod Feud.
Let's see. Do we have the music?
Oh, man, this is great podcasting.
I don't
All right.
think I have.
If Mike gets back here, we are going to play a round of Dad Bod's Family Feud. Mike says, guys, just a side comment for you. In the months you have been doing this podcast, you have really improved. Sounding good. Too tired. Oh, thanks, buddy. Oh, man, Mike, much appreciated. Thanks for listening, all that fun stuff. John, you've gotten so much better according to you were holding us back, but now you are flying along with. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Jason, I was looking for something. I was looking for something back probably almost 20 years ago. You came on my radio show when I was in college a couple times. And I was looking, I had some of that stuff on CD and I was looking for it. And I thought, well, how fun would that be to download some of that? And I can't find it. I'm sure
you got to find it.
No,
that'd be fun.
I'm sure it's gone, but it's
all right.
20 years ago,
Yeah, they don't have cassette players anymore, John.
yeah, not really. I don't.
All right. Okay, John, do you want to tell everyone where they can find us here while we're waiting on Mike?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Dadbods Crab Cakes and Sports. You can email us at gmail.com, dadbodscrabcakesandssports@gmail.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on X at crabcakes_sports. And we got some really, really exciting things in the works for all of you. And if you could just like us, follow, share, subscribe, it helps us grow our podcast, grow our fan base, and be able to give you more exciting games and more exciting content every day.
Yes. Thank you for everything you've done so far. Very exciting news, very big announcement, hopefully, possibly coming on Saturday for you all. But until then, you must be left in a mysterious thought of what it could be. But big announcement, hopefully on Saturday, if not the following Tuesday. This Friday, is our first ever fantasy football show with myself, Mike, and Colin Moderman. And we're going to break down our draft strategies. Any questions y'all have, please join. I believe we're going to go live between 10 and 10:30. I'll have a time on the Facebook for you so you know what time to join in. We want all your questions, everything, our rankings, any draft strategies you're looking for this year. This is for you all. Not that you really want my fantasy football expertise, but I'm going to pretend like you do. Okay, I don't know if Mike's coming back, John. I have no idea. Mike has left us in a lurch.
So, Jason, I just was looking at something. It's kind of how the season has gone for the O's. Trevor Rogers has a 4.20 ERA, and he's 7-7. Like, generally, if you have a sub 4.5 ERA, you're going to be pitching above 500, and he's right there. If I had Bradish, same way. Bradish, I think is what, a 3.6 or something. I think it went up a little bit, but I mean, man.
Well, you almost have to look at you need to look at Rogers' stats for like the last, I want to say his last 7 to 10 starts, because they're elite.
Yeah.
And that's where those numbers come from. Mike is back. Okay. Do you have music for me, John?
I do not. I don't
John?
know where it went. It's not this, is it?
No.
I hate the internet, by the way. Hate it. I hate the internet.
John.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, here we go.
I had to
Mountainside
to.
Villas 165 Wi-Fi. I hate you.
Well,
All right, Jason, are
go
you
ahead,
ready?
John. I'm ready. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the second Dad Bod Feud. This is Mike versus John. I need your. This is going to essentially be top 6 lists, and we have 3 categories this evening. We have the NFL, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and we have the Baltimore Orioles for you. Oh nope, I lied. I have a surprise category. So 3 categories, but we are going to start with
It's
the
not
NFL.
the Baltimore Blast, is it?
No, but actually, it's a good point. I should dig more into this. This is great. All right.
Or the CFL team? What was that called? The Stallions?
Okay. Perfect. Yes, the Baltimore Stallions. Okay. Now, the way this works, Family Feud style, you guys, I got to hear your name. Whoever's name I hear first, Mike or John, you are going to answer that question and choose to either answer, finish the category, or pass to the other player. Sorry. All right. So this is, I need to know the top 6 in 2025, pardon me, top 6 players with the most receiving yards in 2025.
John.
John.
Puka Nacua.
Puka is on the list. Are you playing or passing?
I'm gonna pass it to Mike.
Oh, cop out and big loser face. All right, Mike. I need the other 5 guys. Just so you know, the name that pops up on the board, Puka's number 2.
JSN.
That is number 1. Well done. For you out there, that's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Go ahead, Mike.
The Jigba. He's got a fun name.
He does. And you
I'm
got
stalling
it right.
for time to think. Yeah,
That's
here
fine.
I go. Let's see. Who else is good at catching the football?
All of these are receivers except for one guy, and I'm going to give you that. It's not a wide receiver. It's my game, and I can make up whatever rules I want.
Oh man, this is tough. I'm not in fantasy football mood. Let's go with Jamar Chase.
That is number 4 on the list.
Okay. How about Devontae Adams? Is he on there?
He is not. He had a lot of touchdowns, not as many yards.
Fooey.
Strike 1.
Who else is good at catching? How about Devontae Smith?
Incorrect. Strike 2. The one thing I will tell you is remember that the guys you're naming here were in tandems. Although the number 3 guy was also had another receiver on his team that was pretty good, but most of these guys are dominate their team in receptions as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just I'm brain farting right now.
You can still win if John doesn't guess one of these guys, so you're good.
Who else? How about Justin Jefferson?
No, remember he had a poopy year.
I know he did. I couldn't think of another receiver.
That is 3 strikes. John, I need to know number 3, number 5, or number 6.
Stephon Diggs.
Incorrect, and you are a big loser. Mike is the winner. Okay, you guys missed. George Pickens, number 3.
Ooh.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, number 5.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Who do you think the non-receiver is?
Bowers? I don't know.
Good guess, but he was hurt a lot last year. Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Trey McBride.
Hey, Jason, real quick, fantasy-wise, Brett Bowers or McBride? That's a question, right?
Toss it up. I'm not going to have any of them because I don't take tight ends that early, but Bowers is going to be in that. That's where I would go because I don't know anyone else out there, right? I mean, if you think theoretically in Arizona, Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean, there's some opportunities there for those guys. So I would go with, with Bowers. Okay. Next category, Baltimore Orioles. All right. I need to know all time the top 6 leaders in stolen bases for the Baltimore Orioles.
Mike.
You guys like waiting for the other person to guess? Mike. Okay. All right, Mike.
Brady Anderson.
You are correct. Would you like to play or pass to loser face pants?
I would pass to loser face pants.
All right, loser face pants. I
Brian,
need the other people.
Brian Roberts.
You are correct. That is number 2.
Where was Brady Anderson on this list?
Number 1.
Number 1. Huh.
Now, I did give Mike a clue before, so I'm going to give you a clue. All of these players are older players, but they are from 1966 forward. So nothing below 1966.
What about Al Bumbry?
You are
Bumbry.
correct. That is number 3. Al Bumbry, not Bumpy, but nice try.
Bumbry.
Crap! You took the only other one I knew, John.
Let's see. Who is he? Is Cal on this list? Because he was here so long. I'm just thinking, just by default.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
No.
No, he's not.
Absolutely not.
I
That
don't
he
know.
did not do.
I'm just thinking he was here forever.
I'm actually concerned Ricky Henderson stole more bases in one season than Cal did his whole career.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tim Raines wasn't here long enough. He's on the
All right. We got
regular-
5, 4.
What about Tim Raines?
You're wrong. He was here for half a season. Okay.
What about Ken Singleton?
No, he was not a base stealer. All right, Mike, can you get 1 for the victory? Or will John be the winner?
John will probably be the winner. Oh God, an old Oriole who steals bases. I don't know. Louis Aparicio.
You got it. So Louis Aparicio was number 5. So Mike is the winner. Number 4 was Paul Blair, who I'm shocked you guys didn't get.
Yeah.
And number 6 was Mark Belanger.
Hmm.
Okay. Last category. And all of you in chat can play as well.
Mike
I
already won.
want to know the top 5. So this is according to tasteatlas.com. I need to know in the US the top 5 cuts of beef, essentially.
John.
Ribeye
Ribeye.
is number 3. Would you like to pass or play?
Do it,
Mike?
John. Do it.
I'll
do
play.
it. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
Sirloin.
Sirloin is not on this list.
Okay. Filet mignon.
Filet mignon is number 3. Number 2. Pardon me. Number 2.
2. New York strip.
Incorrect. Come on, man.
Brisket.
You got it. Number 1, brisket. Also number 1 in my heart. Unless you have too much, then that heart stops working.
We've met
Okay.
brisket twice on this show already. This is great.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a good time.
So what about tomahawk?
That's a ribeye, so I'm going to pass. I'm not going to count
Oh,
that against you
Okay.
because a tomahawk is a ribeye.
Prime rib.
That is also a ribeye.
Oh.
So,
Well,
so prime rib is a roast inside a ribeye, so I'm not going to count that one either because
Okay,
that would have been
oh.
incorrect and you'd have lost.
Okay. So how many more do I need? 1?
You need 3. You've only gotten 3 right so far. Wait a minute.
I thought I got 4 right.
No, you got ribeye, you got brisket, and you got filet mignon.
Porterhouse.
Incorrect.
Ooh.
Mike, I need 1 on here for you to secure your sweep of John.
Man, I'm not a knowledgeable steak guy. I want to say, what's delicious? How about does T-bone count?
It does. You are a winner.
Uh,
John said porterhouse, which is a bigger T-bone, which I prefer over a T-bone because why would you not get the bigger cuts?
yeah.
So Mike is the victorious. The ones you guys did not get was number 4, a beef tenderloin, which is also fantastic. And number 6, beef ribs, which I would disagree with. I would have probably had sirloin on there, but what does it matter? All right, fellas, that is Dad Bod's Family Feud Fun Fest. Mike, a clean sweep victory over John. I think you guys tied last time, so that'll be fun. All right. So that is all I have for tonight. We will be joining you guys again on Saturday, all three of us. On Friday, we will be having our first ever fantasy football show, like I mentioned, and yeah, it'll be a good time. Hopefully, we have a big announcements for you all on Saturday. But until then, it's secret. I can't tell any of you. All right, Mike, John, anything else you guys have?
Nope. Happy belated birthday, Mike.
Yay! Na
Hey.
na 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 na. Hey,
So-
hey!
So anything else? Any other exciting gifts except the bidet?
Oh God,
the bidet.
I'm,
No, the
I'm
bidet
going to Mike's
definitely-
house just for that.
Oh
I'm going to Mike's
yeah,
house
you don't
just
share
for-
bidets. Men don't share bidets with another man. What does it matter with you?
The bidet was definitely the best gift, and the ability to play golf on my actual birthday was. There's nothing else really I'd rather do than go play golf and then hang out with my family. So I have to say, like, that was amazing. So thank you for the shout out, guys. Jason, you're up next, brother.
I am. My birthday's on the 26th, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Maybe
come
I'll take a
visit,
nap.
Jason. Maybe
Maybe
come
I'll nap.
visit.
That doesn't sound stressless. That doesn't sound stressless at all, John.
Maybe
All
I'll
right,
come
I'm just
visit
kidding.
bearing gifts.
Ooh, brisket.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. So we
Sonny's
will see
Barbecue.
you. Right. Oh, that place is terrible, by the way.
I
Terrible.
love it. It's so good.
That is
Hey,
so
hey,
terrible.
John, why
What's
don't you
that?
tell everybody where they can find us?
We
already did that while you were
Mike. Anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, crabcake_sports.
Yeah, I like that.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, I need all your questions. So post them on Facebook, email, wherever you can do. Join us for the chat on Friday. We want to know your fantasy football questions. I'm just going to go out and say it'll be 10:30 on Saturday night. On Friday night. And then join us again on Saturday at 10:30. We will be back. So for John Lanscraner, Mike Frisky, I'm Jason Weisbecker. Have a great evening.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.